What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Disney's Lorcana, a great video talking about a whole bunch of great information. We're going to talk about the top cards inside of the set, what's going on with the prices right now, graded and ungraded, and why you should not be deterred from the prices because Disney came out with some great information that's going to make it a lot easier to pick these cards up in the future. So you do not want to miss this video, especially if you're starting to FOMO into buying some of these cards, because your boy is. I've been out and about looking for some at MSRP and I cannot find any anywhere. Now, I've seen across the board that some are getting lucky picking up some small stuff at like your local Walmarts and Targets, but it is selling out instantly. So this is going to go up. Like any other TCG, highly anticipated stuff, a lot of FOMO kicking in, a lot of scalping going on. The prices are going to shoot through the roof. Now, like anything else, look, I'm trying to protect y'all and let you know the prices are going to come down. That is not to guarantee it won't be after they shoot up to the moon, right? That's what they're doing right now, but the prices will cool off, and we have a great reason to discuss why that is going to happen. What I want to do is go ahead and discuss some of this stuff, some of the cards, let y'all know what the hits are inside of it. So if you're new to this, you kind of know what's going on inside of the metasphere of Lorcana. So let's go ahead and move down, and these cards are stunning. Look at the artwork, the colors. Everything is just really so cool. But moving on down in Lorcana right now, this is what you have. You are going to have cards arranged into 6 different rarities: common, uncommon, rare, super rare, legendary, and enchanted. Now, legendary also are worth money right now, but the enchanted cards, the coveted enchanted cards, which are pretty much your alternate artworks in comparison to the likes of something like Pokemon, are going to be your hits. These are going to be your huge hits that are worth a lot of money right now. They are incredibly hard to hit. I've heard they're anywhere from like every 3 to 4 booster boxes. You can pull them across the board from the gift sets, sleeve boosters, all of that stuff, but they are really hard to hit. And there's no guarantee that if you open a case or you open 3 to 4 booster boxes that your odds are guaranteeing that you're going to hit one. A lot of people have opened hundreds of packs and have not pulled one, and then you have people that open a little bit of product and they got like 3 to 4 enchanted cards. So let's go ahead and move down. We're going to scroll through the top enchanted cards right now from 12 to 1 and kind of show you what's going on. So up front and center for number 12, we have Simba, the Return King. They seem to be borderless. They look really good. At the bottom, you see the number of the card, 215 of 204 with the EN, which means enchanted. Now, Disney has stated they are not going to put a first edition stamp or a designator on this chapter 1 print, right? So right now, I think the hard part is we cannot distinguish if this is first edition, right? So what that means is, like, for future prints, how are we going to differentiate this print from another print? And that could hurt the value, right? That could hurt the value. I think right now Disney's focused on deterring scalping. They're trying to focus on expanding the game, making sure that players can get hands on cards, because if you can't get your hands on cards to play the game and you can't bring in players, then the game cannot expand. It would deter people from wanting to get into Lorcana, and the game could suffer from that. So I think Disney is playing with fire right now. There is a way where you can actually make everyone happy, to include the collectors, right? You could make the collectors happy as well, and we'll get into that. But let's go ahead and move down. So right now, the Simba card was going for roughly $121 on TCG Player. Now, these prices are very volatile. They could have changed. This is ungraded. And then moving down to number 11, we have Hades, King of Olympus, number 205, going for $123. Going down to number 10, and drop those comments. Let me know what y'all think number 1 is going to be, right? What is the number 1 card inside of Lorcana right now? And then you have Mickey Mouse, Artful Rogue. This one is a really cool looking artwork. I love the green around the card. And if you see the holographic forms of the card, I'm sure in person, right? I have not been able to see one yet, but what I see online looks really good. And this one is going for $126. So there are actually 2 Mickey enchanted cards right now. This is one of the 2, the least popular one, but still a really good looking card. Then coming down to number 9, we have Genie from Aladdin on the job, $127. Not much more than the Mickey right now, number 209. Coming down to number 8, we have Maui from Moana, Hero to All, $131 for this card, number 212. Moving down to number 7, Aladdin, Heroic Outlaw. And just seeing these characters is just so nostalgic, right? Stuff that I grew up as a child watching all of this stuff, and it's just great to see them come back on a different artwork. And this one right now going for roughly $137. Moving down to number 6, Aurora Dreaming Guardian. This one, $165 right now. Moving down to number 5, Tinkerbell. I heard this one was actually really, really tough to hit. Giant Fairy, $195. We are almost breaching that $200 mark for these cards. There are quite a few hits right now inside of Lorcana. Number 4, Stitch, one of my favorite characters, Carefree Surfer. This one is going for $197 as we draw closer to $200. Number 3, Belle, Strange but Special, cracking that $200 mark right there. Very, very pricey, expensive. And this is number 214. Moving down to number 2, this is the most popular Mickey card right now, Wayward Sorcerer. A really cool looking artwork. I can tell why it's number 1 right now for Mickey. $255 on TCG Player. Some asking prices as high as $300. Now, guaranteed this is going to crack $300, right? As the FOMO keeps kicking in, the prices keep going up. This card will go up in value. And then number 1, Elsa, Spirit of Winter. Would you expect anything else, right? Elsa is so incredibly popular amongst the kid generation right now. A very, very popular series, and everyone is trying to grab this card. And I don't think it's just because of how awesome the card looks or how popular Elsa is, but it's also because, from what I've heard, the playability of the card. This is a really strong card. Floodborn Hero, Queen Sorcerer, Elsa, going for a really high price of $425 and approaching prices of $600. So the most expensive enchanted card right now. So if you pull this, congratulations. Good for you, right? This is an awesome card to have. Now moving over as we transition to the ungraded enchanted prices, and we'll take a look at some of this just very quickly, right? So you understand what's going on with these cards. I think the last time I checked, the booster box, the first chapter was going for roughly like $150 to $200. So sometimes it would be smarter to go ahead and buy some of these enchanted cards just straight up, because this Wayward Sorcerer sold for $249. So somebody got a decent deal, because graded, this would be worth a hell of a lot more. Then moving down, the same card, $268. We have Ursula, $10, right? And that's your legendary, so they're going to be a lot cheaper than your enchanteds. And then moving on down, we have Maui, $205 for that one. We have best offer accepted under $200 for the enchanted Belle, Strange but Special. We have Simba, $250. This is one that I really want. Aurora, $250. Elsa, oh my God, $800. So this actually went higher than $600. September 8th, $800. Another one, $700. So the Elsa is very, very volatile right now, very high. You have Genie. So we're seeing a trend right now that most of these cards are actually hovering around the $200 range, but Elsa is up there by a lot. You have Hades, King of Olympus, $265, 16 bids. Genie, $200. Aladdin, $222. $400 for the Mickey, September 8th. So the prices are just all over the place. What we're seeing is a trend that whatever is being listed is just getting ate up, right? People are buying it for pretty much whatever they can get their hands on it for, cheap, expensive. It doesn't matter. These cards right now are pretty rare. Now moving over to the graded prices, I'm sure people are sending these in as fast as they can, probably spending like $100 to $150 a PSA to get them back really, really quick to sell them off while the FOMO is kicking in. You have the Wayward Sorcerer, 3 bids, $870. This is like 4 times the price of the ungraded card. That's a 400% return value. And this one actually sold for a 500%, $1,051, 29 bids for a PSA 10. That is crazy. Simba, $820. Fucking nuts. Elsa, Spirit of Winter, $2,830, 39 bids, blowing everything else out of the water. You have the other Mickey, which actually went for more than this one right here, right? The top listing. This was the least popular one, but actually sold for $910. So the shit don't even make any sense, right? You have the ungraded, the graded, the popularity rankings. It's just stuff's all over the place right now. And this is all due to FOMO, right? You have Genie. I would say this is probably one of the least popular ones, $600, still very expensive, but much under the other cards that we looked at so far. And then Elsa staying strong around $2,000. Now, looking at these cards right here, we have Maui, $152. I don't think people are too excited about that one right there. We have Genie for $1,000. Very, very expensive. Aladdin, $870. Belle, and then we also have Tinkerbell, $1,600. So Tinkerbell, and then you have Belle, and you also have Elsa. Some very, very expensive cards. Very expensive. Hades, $610. So while we've talked about all of that, right, we understand that the prices are incredibly high. And I know everyone wants to get their hands on these cards right now, but I want to show y'all some stuff that we're going to discuss really quick that Disney came out with. And y'all let me know what you think. Drop a comment. The first thing I want to look at straight from Disney on February 13th. Somebody asked the question, would these have first edition stamps? And basically, Disney said nearly identical cards with the same artwork and same mechanics will be in Disney Lorcana, the first chapter, just without the D23 stamp. So this was in reference to the expo that happened for D23. So it says, without the D23 stamp, first edition stamp, or for the 6 cards in the collector set, that particular foil treatment. So no first edition stamp at release, someone asked, and Disney said there will not be a first edition stamp on Disney Lorcana, the first chapter, which is what we have now. This is what's currently on the market. And they said, are we going to see first edition boxes? Is there a limited print run? Will you have a reserve list, what you see in like Magic and other card games, where they basically take things out of rotation? So you know it's going to have some rarity to it, right? Because they won't be printing that card anymore in the future to maintain the secondary market value. And Disney said no with a smiley face. Now, I think that is going to be an issue, right? I think Disney is smart for the playing aspect, for the players, but I think for the game to hold value long term, because I firmly believe that collectors are just as important for the game as players. I don't want to open shit that won't have no value. I just don't, right? People inherently open items because other people don't have it. And because you pull something that you're excited about and you're like, holy shit, I just pulled a Giratina, or I just pulled the Charizard, whatever you pull. But the excitement's kind of like less there if you can't pull a really rare card, right? If Disney will not have a distinguisher mark, right? A first edition stamp or a first edition box, or no way to distinguish these different prints, then the value of these cards as they're printed into oblivion, it will drop the market and the value from what you currently see on the eBay market right now. Now, I'm not agreeing with these current prices. I do think that they're astronomical. They're outrageous. But I do think that the game should carry some value for it to last long term. Now, I don't know what Disney is going to do, right? When you're looking at the boxes, right, before second chapter comes, the question everybody has right now is how can we distinguish a future print box or a booster pack or a card versus what's on the market now? Will it be a difference in serial numbers? Will we have something on there that's going to show us that this is the first print versus a later print? That is what's going to be very, very important. Now, also looking at this right here, Disney Lorcana trading card games launch set will be reprinted due to high demand. So Disney has said it many times before, right? Lorcana will be printed over and over and over. And here's something else they put out. They said Disney Lorcana had its wide release last Friday, and while there was a stampede to stores for sealed product, Ravensburger did announce that more boxes and packs will be hitting shelves in October, so coming up next month, and that a reprint of the set will happen in 2024. Next year. But what has that meant for singles? Can we all sit back, relax, and say Hakuna Matata? All right. So they will be reprinting this game this year, and they will be reprinting Chapter 1 in 2024. So that is what I wanted to basically mention to all of you, that you don't have to worry if you want to get your hands on cards. If you can be patient, Disney is going to print the shit out of this game. Now, Ravensburger is not as large as Disney. They don't have the deep pockets that Disney has, so they did underestimate the demand on launch day for this game, but they also could not just print a crazy amount of it because they didn't know how well it was going to sell. Now that they know, they are going to print this and print this and print this over and over and over, right? Which will drop the market value of the game. It's not going to say that these enchanteds will be pulled like crazy, right? Like I know Pokemon, when they have future prints, you don't tend to pull the alternate artworks as commonly as you did from the first print. So we don't know how the pulls will be in the future, but we do know that it will be reprinted and they will not have a reserve list as of now. Now, I don't know how it works in the future. Disney can probably change some of these rules or some of the things that they said and recant some of their statements and change it. So we will see. We will see in the future. But right now, I think this game is looking awesome. People are loving playing it, and the cards look really good. So I'm really excited. And I know a lot of people who have their hands on these Chapter 1 print cards are actually really excited for Chapter 2 to come so they can stop worrying and sweating about the value of their Chapter 1 cards. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video, took something from it. If you enjoyed it, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, drop a comment. I'll be back soon with another video, and I'll see y'all later. Out.